This morning I saw another ad come across the social media feed for another AI program that selects your images for you and then edits them the way you like them and then gives you your final for Lightroom, which is just mind-boggling to me. Quite literally today, to shoot an event with one of the newer cameras, you literally just have to point in the right direction and push the button. And the autofocus and everything is so good that there's really nothing more to it. Now, I know there's creative artists that use high-end gear and make it talk, and they know how to use this gear. But then you have your everyday Joe, which can just point and shoot, spray and pray, whatever you want to call it. They'll shoot 3,000-4,000 photos for an event, which is absurd to me, but and then throw it into an automatic program to select and edit the photos and then present them to their clients. And it's just mind-boggling to me that the word or the meaning photographer, I don't even know how to say it, is what it is. Because now I'm not saying that I use a new camera. I use a Nikon Z6 II. I've used Canon R5. I use them all, and they're great tools. But we're at the point now that literally I can hire a second shooter and go just point the camera in the right direction and push the button. The camera's going to do everything for you. You don't have to know what you're doing. And I'm there for the for the hard stuff, if you will. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's quite simply the truth. And then, if you're just walking around pushing the button and then you go home and put it into a program that selects your photos and edits for you, you can go have a coffee and do whatever you do. What part of photographer are you? Anyway, I just saw that and it drives me a little crazy. There's no other art form that they have this advantage, and I can't even call it an art form at that point because it's really not. I mean, the camera's doing all the work. An AI program is selecting your images and editing them. Like, what part of photographer are you at that point? Anyway, I'm done with my rant. It just drives me a little crazy. So I was at an event with my daughter. She's a social media influencer, and she's pretty big. And she works hard to do what she does. It's not fly by night. And what's funny to me is, these influencers that do makeup and hair and that kind of stuff, get paid very good money. And then I look at the photographer influencers who will just make money selling their presets or make money off of advertising on YouTube or pray for a camera to be sent to them to try for a couple of weeks and send it back. It's just so two different worlds. It's just unbelievable, the differences. But anyway, again, off on another rant. She was at this event and there was no +1. So usually when there's a +1, I can take my camera and shoot for her and do nice photos. And, the sad part is these photos that I shoot on a professional camera will get less activity than photos done with an iPhone or a random point and shoot. And it's true. It's unbelievable. And now the point and shoots are coming back. They're becoming popular again because of the look. They have a more organic film-like look, if you will, because of the older sensors, which I believe is true, as a matter of fact. But anyway, so she didn't want to carry around a big camera, so she didn't want to take her Q2 and have that around her neck, because she was in dresses and it was Florida, so she was in a swimsuit on the beach, and she just wanted something light that she can throw in her purse. And she has the Canon GX7, I think that's what it is. It's the Mark II, whatever it is. I think it's the GX7. Anyway, she took that with her, and I'll never forget the first time she got back from one of the first events where we were. She was like, "Oh my God, look at these pictures! They're gorgeous." And I'm like, yeah, they're pretty nice. And they were all stunning photos. You know, and it's a point and shoot camera. The other thing is that night she went and she did an event at night and she used the on-camera flash and the photos were beautiful and she loved them. And I kept thinking to myself, like, she's used to me shooting, so she doesn't respond that way. That's what I'm going with because she's used to it. It's not because my photos suck. But the response that she had each time she came back was such joy and excitement. It was like the old film days when you got filmed at. It was that kind of joy and excitement when she came back and look at the photos. And I was just like, you know, because she literally just point and shot and didn't worry about it. And then when she came back and loaded them up to her computer and sent them to her phone, she just pulled them up and was just in awe looking through the photos. And I've seen this before with her when she shot a roll of film, you know, because she got into film a little bit and the files would be uploaded to the computer and she'd be able to see them from the lab. And the joy and excitement was just unbelievable. So that point and shoot is giving that joy and excitement. And with everybody, you know, pushing towards the old point and shoots, and they're the ones being posted, and that's the in thing now. You know, it's coming back to that where, you know, casual, non-professional photos are the thing. And it's great. I'm not, you know, there's nothing against it, but, you know, for someone like me, it's hard because I shoot with a professional camera. I shoot to perfection. You know, like everything has to be technically perfect for me. And it's a mindset that I can't get out of. Now I did get the 40 mil 1.2 back on my camera, the Voigtlander. And I love this lens and it gives me more of an artistic look. But, you know, every time I shoot it, I'm looking at, okay, if I just stop it down, I'll get a little sharper. If I do this, I'm still looking for technical perfection. And, you know, I have a shoot today. Well, I had a shoot yesterday that I'm going to show you today, that I tried to be more casual. And I don't think I succeeded. But I just want to give you a little background video of the shoot and see what I did. And hopefully I have some kind of casual look to them. But for me, it's so hard. I mean, I guess unless I put a point and shoot in my hand, and I can't even say that because every time I use a point and shoot, I want perfection. It drives me insane. But I'm trying to get a more casual look to my photos, more organic kind of look, versus everything in studio and perfect lighting. And, you know, anybody can do what I do. You know, my photos are not special by any means. They're technically good. They're technically very good, but it doesn't give them anything. My forte in photography is dealing with people and working with people. I can make people comfortable in front of the camera within a minute of meeting them for the first time. And, you know, it is a great asset to have in your tool bag. You know, and if I had to tell anything to any photographer starting out, I'd say work with people, practice working with people, get to know people, and that's the first thing you should learn and become good at, because the cameras can do everything else for you. Lighting is it's a learned skill, but you can learn it. It's not rocket science. You know, and if you have somebody guiding you, it's a lot easier. You know, because trial and error works, don't get me wrong, but to close that gap, to make it quicker, you know, have somebody to say, hey, move it here, move it there, do this, do that, and learn that way, makes it a lot easier. Anyway, so here's the shoot. This was a lot of, a whole haberdashery of random thoughts, but the main reason is, here's a shoot that I tried to be casual. I didn't use lighting. I just used the 41.2. I manually focused my camera and shot and enjoyed it. But anyway, enjoy the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below. I gotta tell you, this is a little bit harder of a video to shoot than normal because, you know, I'm trying to do something that I don't do normally. And to be honest with you, that I'm not good at. So, you know, this was like, she came in for graduation photos and I told her to bring a friend and, you know, bring a couple outfits and let's just have fun for the rest of the time. So, you know, the first thing I did was say, you know, don't worry about the cap.
just wear the gown, leave it unzipped, have fun with it. So this was my first thing, because graduation cap and gown photos are so stringent and typical. I just wanted to have something different and fun. And when we saw these, we both loved them. They come out beautiful. They're casual. They're fun. And that says graduation more than anything in the world. She's thrilled to be graduating from college. So the next thing is, her and her friend wore dresses and were inside the studio. So this is hard. This is hard to do a casual artistic look when you're in a studio. Now, I'm not using lights, so that helps a lot. I'm just using natural light. And believe me, if I threw a strobe on this, then I would immediately go into that technical perfection that I always have to have. And this, when I went through the photos for editing, I didn't care. I didn't look at if it was technically sharp or anything like that. I just picked the ones that I love their expressions. I love the look, and that's the ones I'm showing you now. These are mostly unedited. I did a little bit of crop. Maybe I lightened a couple, but that's it. And this one I tweaked the color a little bit, which I still don't like. But I'm trying for that artistic look, that more casual look. And I'm not there yet. And then, the funny thing is, I'm looking at these photos as I'm going through, and it drives me insane that that car on the left there, I left in the photo. I didn't pay attention to that while I was shooting. That to me is a huge faux pas on my part. I hate the photo because of it. I love the way she looks in the photo, but I don't want to sit there in Photoshop and take out a car. Because that's not the point of this exercise for me. The point of the exercise is becoming better at more casual, less technically perfect looks. And I'm going to achieve it if it kills me. I'm just going to keep shooting and hope for the best, and hope it comes to me. I actually, I really appreciate and respect casual shooters that can make images like this look fantastic. Even that little peak of the car right there, it's driving me, and I don't want to be able to or have to go into Photoshop to correct an image. So that's something I have to work on. And normally, if I have lights outside, even if it is outside and I'm using a strobe and I'm stopping down and I want the sharpest picture, I'll notice that stuff. But since I am trying to shoot casually, I forgot it. It was just like out of sight, out of mind. Anyway, back in the studio. Again, this is really hard to shoot casually in the studio for me because, you have the white backdrop and, I have a reflector there and it just takes you into, okay, well, this has to be this way and this light has to be this way. So it's hard. And like I said in the beginning, this is a journey for me. I hope you got something out of this video. I don't know what the hell it would be, but I hope you got something out of it. Anyway, and I'm going to show you this last photo the last photo I do, I'm going to pull in on that Voigtlander 41.2 because the lens really is pretty. It does have chromatic aberrations, no ifs, ands, or buts, but I'm not going to look for a better lens. I'm going to learn my lens, learn how to use it, and learn its limitations and be happy with it. Anyway, thanks for watching.